Tunaingia vijijini, mijini. Tunaingia vijijini, mijini na hata jijini kukuletea taarifa mchana kutwa. Usiku tunaketi kitako, tunadadavua tukichanganua taarifa na makala muhimu yanayokuhusu wewe na familia yako. Ungana na Bernard Ngozi kwenye Open Forum Political.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen.
Mimi ni Will Kibadi na kutakia Happy New Year. At Sound Candid Talk, we provide live UHD broadcast for church services, talk shows and podcasts, weddings, live bands, products and services launches, webinars and trainings, Zoom meetings, conferences, seminars, exhibitions, and virtual concerts. Sound Candy Talk Live News.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another amazing moment, another amazing time. We are sorry today we are late because of some issues, hiccups, but we have sorted them out. And I want to welcome you for the night show. Baba will be driving and looking more details towards it. So don't go away. Please send your feedbacks and send your conversation on the comment section. I'll be reading them.
Tunaingia vijijini, mijini na hata jijini kukuletea taarifa mchana kutwa. Usiku tunaketi kitako, tunadadavua tukichanganua taarifa na makala muhimu yanayokuhusu wewe na familia yako. Ungana na Bernard Ngozi kwenye Open Forum Political Show kuanzia saa 4 usiku hadi dakika zake kila siku ya wiki kwenye
So today we'll be looking at the Gachaguas and Karua unites, and this is something that Kenyans were less expected, but it has happened. And the more we look at what it, we'll be sharing also other feedbacks and other details. And if you're getting me, please tell me, because there's some hiccups inside the studio. So just let me know if there's something going on well. So we'll be looking towards more details towards that, because the Karua decided to unite with Gachagua. They decided to form something together, and this is something that Kenyans never expected that would come, and never expected would be there. It came abruptly and has shocked many. I hope even you were shocked because you didn't expect, like for example, like today or Karua will just come up and says now he's uniting with Gachagua. So we will check more details towards that, and we'll also check check details to other tricky things that are going on, and we'll be moving on swiftly. So what I urge is welcome you inside the studio, welcome somebody, tell somebody that we are here and we are ready to move. So today we will look about the hiccup or the uniting of Gachagua and Martha Karua. This was something that less expected. But before we dive into that, let me check out some few comment sections, because I'll be reading them and also moving on swiftly. Let me begin with the comment section. I see the comment section, many people are there saying hi Bernard, good evening everyone. Kuna hey Chaka Mdun, thank you Chaka. Kuna Quinta, thank you Quinta. Kuna Juliet Muselia, thank you. Kuna William, kuna Chaka pia, kuna Agnes Kwanjiko, kuna Chaka again, kuna Williams, and others many. So this conversation, or this thing that you see Karua going to Gachagua's, and it came less expectedly. People never expected that, because people knew Martha Karua very well, and this decision that Martha just decided today that he will unite with Gachagua, he will stand up for the Gachagua sides as his honor, and it also doesn't add up well, because people are less expecting such a thing can happen, or such a movement can be seen. But when you look at today, the scenario that happened yesterday, we can see clearly that Karua decided himself that he will go to Gachagua's play, he will unite with Gachagua. and he set up some few 3-4 things that we will be checking also. Details, and will be listening to the Karua speech and noticing what's not happening. And if you can also feel like to share with me with the opinions of what is not happening or what is happening according to that, also I'll be happy, because I'll be also sharing your views and also be saying to Eve. And also I would like to see the feedbacks, because this is something that to me, I didn't expect something like such like can come. And also I didn't expect it, like Martha Karua can speak up, can decide to join Gachagua. This is something that was less expected, because we knew Karua very well. And we less expected this, because this is so much. Also, once we look at what's that, I'll also will be trying on checking also other things around this part scenario, like often, like somebody say that bodies are found inside the river, bodies are found beside the river. Some ladies are being slaughtered. But let us not continue not encouraging that, and let us continue standing up for our ladies. Let us check out this first, and then we will notice what's not going on, because this is what has happened yesterday.
Regime come 2027. Gachagua, who visited Karua in her Kiamunye Gishungu home entry and adopting what he described as a dictatorial style of leadership. The two vowed to recruit more political allies to liberate the country from the hands of, quote, oppression. Safin Acheng Oma has more.
He arrived at the home of now Kenya party leader Martha Karua in Gishugu, Kirinyaga County. And in what seemed like a deliberate attempt to make a strong statement, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and his delegation went bearing goodies. Farm produce and several goats and sheep, a selection quite symbolic in the Kikuyu culture, representing a quest for truth and new beginnings. Gachagua was accompanied by his spouse, Dorcas Rigathi, and political allies for the Gishugu trip, where the two agreed to bury the hatchet and amalgamate a formidable political force to challenge President William Ruto's regime.
My elder sister, we shall benefit a lot from her counsel. We'll consult her regularly alongside other Kenyans of will, so that we liberate this country. So today I will leave here a very happy man that now we have a leader now that we can work together.
When people who are determined to oppress group or regroup, then people determined to liberate must regroup. And that is why all Kenyans of goodwill must join hands. We must push back and get our rights.
Gachagua, now a strong critic of the government he served for 2 years, has accused his former boss of running down the country, even as the duo strongly condemned the spate of abductions in the country.
The country is on downtrend in matters economy, theft of public funds, and too much corruption. And again, intolerance and depression. Since the time of the white colonialists, brutal as they were against us, they never went for our children. This is the first time a government has gone for the children, our young people, the Gen Zs. We want to encourage our young people that they are on the right side of history.
We are saying no to making Kenya the capital of abductions in East Africa. We must push back. Fear is not an option. Akiogopa atakukujia chini ya kitanda mahali umejificha.
The leaders accused the head of state of adopting what they described as a dictatorial style of leadership.
As Kenyans, we will not allow you to graduate as a dictator, because that's what you're trying.
Gachagua absolved himself and his community from the tribal politics tug.
It is insulting to this community for the president to go around in meetings calling us tribal. We know he is unhappy. We know he is frustrated. We know he is bitter that our people have left him. But sio sisi tulimkataa. Mimi mwenyewe nilimwambia usiguze mlima akaguza. Si ndio? I told him the people of mountain don't like betrayal. Had we been tribal the way he is saying, we would not have voted for him and Raila Odinga. We would have gone to Mwaura, Wahiga.
Post his impeachment, the former deputy president has been keen on making a political comeback, holding a series of meetings with leaders from various sectors at his Wamunyoro home in Nyeri County. Meetings he termed consultative as he designs his political future. His strategy, drawing a cocktail of reactions from political leaders from the region, with some challenging him to tone down the political rhetoric.
People, for now, let us try and focus on delivering for the people as leaders. Let us demand from our government what they promised us during elections. Wakati wa kuunda chama na kufanya siasa itafika.
Citizen TV.
That's how things are on the ground, whereby Gachagua and Martha Karua decided to unite once again, and this is what we see the outcome of the two people uniting, and they decided to form something of their own. So, to me, I didn't expect it as something such a thing come, or I didn't expect it. I expected such a thing can happen, but now already it has happened. And Martha Karua and Gachagua, will they work together? Will they bring a change? Will they be able to move together and work the way other regimes worked? This is something that I can't say it, but I didn't expect such a thing can happen. Because as Kenyans, we know Martha Karua and Gachagua, they may not be breakable, but hey, sometimes it's less expected because we expected a lot from Martha. Martha has been there as the part of the audience for quite a while, and we see that now this happens. So we wonder, what is it that has decided to happen now, so that things can go like this, so things can do like this? Yeah, this is something tricky. We'll be checking more details towards that, and also we'll be checking also details towards the Matiang'i case, because the Matiang'i case also has raised some issues back, as bring some conflict back as we are moving on swiftly for the few minutes that will be here. And I want to ask every one of you to please welcome somebody and be part and parcel of this as we are checking out towards what Martha Karua and Gachagua are bringing on the table today, because this is never what we expected. We less expected that Gachagua can even unite with Martha Karua, or we never even think that such a things can happen. Because even if we were asked, do you think that Martha Karua can unite with Gachagua, you could say no. But today we have seen it has already happened. So what does it, or what should we do? Because that has already happened. You'll find that for us to survive, or for us to tackle these such issues, we need to do the strategy, and we need to have a clear plans for everything that is going on. Because when we see this unit, we don't know what has encountered or what has it been planned so that they can do such, or what they have planned together so that they decided to come up and they decided to unite up like that. Maybe they have something that has happened so that they decided to unite. Maybe they have something that has come across that made them to unite. You don't know. But to me, I feel like this is all about the politics, and it's about just the pressure of people and asking them to move from one point to another, or to tackle one thing to another. And the pressure is so much, and that's why they decided to come to such a conclusion, because this is a conclusion that was less expected. He's seeing also the other issues that have been raising up, other issues that have been going on. You see, like, this is less expected. It's less expected. And for Kenyans, we need to pull up and think upright, because if we don't think upright, we can say that this thing can come to collide, can come to collision, can come to point whereby we will feel like we are being betrayed, and we feel like we're being done places. Like we see Gachagua saying that tulimkataza asiguze mlima and akaguza mlima. Like to tell him that people from Mlima never like being disobeyed. Now Gachagua presents the issue of being disobeyed as watu wa mlima. And when we checking out very clearly that Gachagua speaking about being disobeyed like watu wa mlima, you see, that is so tricky, because we can't say it like it is something easier. It's something easy. Ati Gachagua ameamua leo ku disobey watu wa mlima. Gachagua even can't, Baba can't even agree that Ali disobey watu wa mlima. But for the things that are happening, or for the things that are being going on, you can see that people feel like Baba has decided to Martha has decided to disobey them and decided to unite with Gachagua. Like, this is one of the things that I can say that which will wake up some. It's like a waking up call, because it's a waking up call, and as a waking up call, we need to wake up also Kenyans, so that we can know where to touch from. You see the speech, the marcher's speech, see the speech from Gachagua also. Seems like they are to conclude, because Gachagua went to Martha's place with some gift, with some goodies, and he take to Martha. And the moment you see that he takes goods, that shows that he has humble and submit to them, to Martha Karua, and decided to show him as a simple people that I have agreed to be with you. But so, okay, on a light note, somebody say that Gachagua amepeleka mahari. It's not such a like on a high thing, but as for the Kenyans, that we need to be careful, and we need to be having a waking up call, because this is going too fast. The syllabus is going to so fast. So if we don't wake up, if we don't do a well-structured thing, we'll find out we are the one will end up in this collision with the one that remains that hanging. Because sahii ni kila mtu anatafuta kwenye atakaa, na kila mtu anatafuta kula ambayo atajifinya na kula ambayo atabenefit, kule pele ambayo atapewa nafasi yako zungumza, ama nafasi yako take over. But if we don't be careful, we will find that now following somebody because he or she has said, but not thinking the way that the person thinks, or not going the same goal or the same direction with the person. If we can follow somebody without knowing his direction that he's going, or that knowing the perspective that he has decided, so that he can do the thing, or he can go to the direction that he or decided to go, you see that is one of the issues that affects politics in Kenya. And the leader comes up decided to speak up, decided to show people that we will take this direction. But sometimes when he feels like the direction that we have taken has decided not to go on well, what he or she does, decides to change the direction, bring up anything, and goes to another person. So, as Kenyans, we need to know that if that's the strategy of the game that is being played in Kenya, it's like a wake-up call and notice that, okay, if you are following somebody, we need to be careful and we need to know the strategies that the person is using and to know the way that the person wants to go. So that the moment we are uniting with the person, the moment that we are pulling up with the person, the moment we are coming up for the same person, we know the direction the person is going, we know the game the person is playing, and we get to know more details on what to do or not to do. Because the moment we just do things because we are doing them, go just because we are going, it's reached at a point that we begin walking without just move because amesema. One time somebody said that unakuta mtu anasema tumeenda maandamano, but when we ask the person that kwa nini mko maandamano, kwa nini mmeenda maandamano, the person even don't know the reason for the maandamano. What he says that mwenye ametisha maandamano yeye anajua sababu ya maandamano, because you are not even bothered with what's going on. What is hey sisi tumekuja maandamano, that's the thing that tumekuja maandamano, na ndio hiyo. I don't have the reason why ya kama maandamano, but wewe umekuja maandamano, wewe unajua tu mimi bora niko maandamano, tumekuja maandamano, tumeamua kuja maandamano na tumekuja maandamano. So such like things na wewe tumekuja maandamano, juu mwenye maandamano anajua ni kwa nini ameitisha maandamano. Mwenye maandamano anajua ni kwa nini ameamua tuende maandamano. So you see, it is like, it looks like a simple thing, but it's also a big controversy, because we can't go maandamano without knowing why we're going maandamano. So that is the way that we have been traveling as Kenyans, some of the Kenyans. But now today, I want to urge you, let us just stand up and make a very amazing wake-up call, and where we decide to do everything perpendicularly with understanding, not just because we are looking at or somebody has said it. Now, we confront somebody shifting up and say that Gachagua is now United Mother. Now, let us now move that with towards Mother, because Mother, she was the ODM candidate among the ODM leaders, and she has been ODM for a seat in Azimio. So now let us unite, let us continue following Mother, because now Gachagua is following Mother. No, but we didn't know the reason why Gachagua decided to follow Mother. So Kenyans, what I urge you is, let us now have a waking up call. Let us have a solid decision that we are making. Don't make just a decision because you are making a decision. Don't just wake up today, just do something because you're doing it. Just wake up today, do anything because just people are saying it, or people are agreeing to it. It looks awkward, by the way. So if we have such like scenarios that begin to happen, we don't speak towards them, we don't communicate towards them, we just it's not even moving any point, because the way things are being handled, to know more details towards them. So it is our responsibility to make sure that even if we are doing this, even if we are joining this, even if we want to listen to Martha, because we don't see they are bad, they are good, and all of them, they're our leaders. Let us hear this speech. Let us hear this controversy again. Then I'll also be sharing some more details towards this.
Politics between the two leaders, both of whom hail from the populous Mount Kenya region. with Gachagua and Karua, who today held a meeting at Karua's rural home in Gishugu constituency, Kirinyaga County, vowed to take on President William Ruto's administration in a quest to liberate the country. NTV's Ibrahim Karanja begins our broadcast tonight.
Kimunye Village, Gishugu constituency in Kirinyaga County. The home of NAK Kenya party leader Martha Wangari Karua played host to unfamiliar guests as former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, his spouse Pastor Dorcas Rigathi, and a host of political leaders christening themselves as Itungati paid homage to the Iron Lady region's politics. For political leaders who haven't seen eye to eye for over 2 years, their rift especially widened by the bruising 2022 presidential elections that saw them as presidential running mates to the main opposing parties. Gachagua brought significant gifts for Karua, being 8 sheep with significant interpretation. 2, a male and a female, intended to be raised with Karua's flock, indicating a wish for prosperity. 1, which was slaughtered and eaten, shared between the 2, and 5, which the NAK Kenya party leader is to keep so as to have food for defending the community whenever they visit. Real politics was at play, with both heaping praises on each other.
Where we are as a country, we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. All of us must come together, men and women of integrity, and who mean well for this country.
A journey of uniting and liberating Kenya has begun.
They criticized President William Ruto's administration, blaming him for mismanagement of the country and promising the head of state a resounding defeat.
The country is on downtrend. It matters economy, the theft of public funds, and too much corruption. And then again, intolerance and depression.
The rogue Ruto regime is determined to oppress Kenyans. It's a merciless regime that resembles the oppressive colonial regime.
Applauding the Gen Z for their continued vigilance online, they also called on them to effect their clamor for change by registering as voters.
The public awareness on smartphone is good, A1. But the real transformation, the final transformation of getting a good country with a good leader to take IDs register as
from. This is a scheme to deny the Gen Z the ability to register as voters. We want free ID cards for our youth, and we want continuous registration of voters.
With both Rigathi and Karua harboring individual clamor for the presidency, they have announced that they will unite with other candidates and form a united front to unseat President Ruto.
Other Kenyans want to work with us. Nobody can isolate us. Everybody wants to work with us because we are honest people. We are people of integrity.
Karua indicated that her NAK Kenya party is rebranding to the People's Liberation Party, even as Gachagua's supporters count days before his hyped announcement of a political direction. This visit just showing the lengths that the former second-in-command is willing to go to completely wrestle Mount Kenya from Kenya. Meanwhile, as this was happening, Tharaka Nithi Governor Muthomi Njuki discouraged people of the Mount Kenya region against forming new political parties at the moment.
Let us try and focus on delivering for the people as leaders. Let us demand from our government what they promised of doing elections. Wakati wa kuunda chama na kufanya siasa itafika.
Pundits have always argued that Gachagua's Waterloo in his ouster battle was the fact that he joined hands with William Ruto without a political party of his own in a coalition where other party leaders signed cooperation pacts. Ibrahim Karanja, NTV.
You see it again. So let us break it down a little more. Because this is what we're here to do. You see now, it's now clearly from the first point, this second point, and the symbols and everything. Number one, we see Gachagua saying that we are honest people, and that's why everyone wants to work with us. So that looks a simple term, but Gachagua is saying it's trying to prove a point that he is honest, they are honest, but the people who are not honest are the people who are closer to them. They're the ones who disobeyed or didn't be honest towards their agreement. So when we see such like things that being said up and we see such like things being spoke out, we need to be very careful, vigilant, and we are aware of what's not going on or what's going on. Because if such a like statement Gachagua that's giving out, that we need to be alert so that we are honest, meaning that other people who comes to them are the one who are dishonest. So we need also to have a clear mind that they feel that other people are honest and dishonest, but them they are honest. And for me to ask you a question, do you feel or do you think Gachagua is honest? Do you think Karua are honest? Do you think Karua has betrayed ODM? Betrayed ODM? Do you think Karua has betrayed Azimio? Do you think Karua will continue working with Azimio? Those are the questions that are endless. And do you think, or what do you feel about the response for that from the people from Azimio? What do you think people from Azimio will speak? Will Martha be able also again to stand up for Azimio, or will he stand up for Watomari? Will he stand up for his party? Because we are seeing that Martha now has started to form another union, whereby he changed the party to be a revolution party. So what do you feel? Will he put more energy to that and forget about the Azimio, forget about the ODM, and focus towards that? Do you think will that thing happen like that? So please also can share your views about that. If you feel that this will not stop it, also just tell me that this one will not stop it. This one will bring a change. This one will not hinder them from doing ABCD. Will bring another dimension, so that we can also notice from your view or part of view, so that we can also share it to Kenyans also, and I'll be glad. So I've also lifting that, let us talk about the story from Matiang'i. First, I'll play the video, then we will know from there where to start from, because also Matiang'i has decided to do an amazing thing. Kenyans today have decided that hakuna kufumua syllabus tunapeleka mbio. So let us analyze a little bit for the story from Matiang'i.
Elsewhere, members of the Jubilee party now say they will field a presidential candidate in the 2027 general elections. Speaking in Narok, Party Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni revealed that former Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i will be the party's flag bearer in the 2027 polls. Meanwhile, Environment Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale has criticized Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka, calling him an unvisionary leader. Hemenigilda Mugeni with the details.
He was in charge of what? The Jubilee Party has announced its plan to field a presidential candidate in the 2027 general election. Speaking in Narok, Jubilee Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni revealed that former Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i will fly the party's flag in the upcoming polls.
Matiang'i ndio wanasema ako ndani ya Jubilee. Na yeye alifanya kazi na chama ya Jubilee miaka 10. Hao wakae na wale wengine. So we as a Jubilee party, we have our own candidate on the board. Lazima mwanze kufanya registration musukume maneno kwa watu na hatutaki vita.
Kioni emphasized that it is time for minority communities to take the mantle of leadership, urging leaders from the Mount Kenya region to take a step back from the presidency.
Tunataka candidate kutoka jamii dogo. Nasema sasa tukae kando kidogo. Mtu mwingine wote tuungane tuweke kura yetu kwa hiyo kikapu. Raundi ingine tulipigia Ruto na wengine pia Raila. Hata raundi hii tutapigia mwingine kutoka jamii dogo.
Meanwhile, Environment Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale has launched a scathing attack on Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka, terming him an unambitious and unfit leader.
Mimi nataka nimwambie Kalonzo Musyoka, Rais amesema kesi ya IEBC 2007, mimi nilikuwa mjumbe. Nilikuwa na wewe ukiwa ukapita katikati ya Uhuru na Raila 2007. 2013 ulikuwa running mate. 2017 ulikuwa running mate. 2022 ulikuwa running mate. Na sasa hii nasikia unatafuta rais. Nataka uambie wa Kenya ni nani hawa aliens ambao
leaders of profiling civil servants from the northeastern region in a veiled attack directed at former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and Public Service Cabinet Secretary Justin Muturi. Duale warned that leaders from the region will not remain silent while civil servants are unfairly targeted.
Sisi tunaamini wa Kenya waishi pamoja, Waislamu kwa Wakristo, makabila zote. So I want to ask some leaders to stop profiling public servants, and more so public servants in the security sector who come from Northeastern.
To some sad news. More
That's what's going on, because as we're getting what now, Matiang'i decided to stand up and to fight for presidential in Jubilee seat. And for the details, we see also this thing happened for like 6 years ago. That's the funny thing. That's the controversy. While by the Jubilee leadership was trying to defend Matiang'i, protecting Matiang'i, and say, and raising there many issues. But today we see now they're saying that now it's high time. We have voted for other people, but now we can vote for him. Tulipigia Raila kura, tulipigia Uhuru kura. Now is it for Matiang'i? So, do you feel that Matiang'i has been, Matiang'i is able to be the president of Kenya? Do you feel Matiang'i is able to run and compete for the ODM seat or for the Jubilee seat? Do Matiang'i has the capability to run the UDA even in the Jubilee seat? Just tell me your comments on the comment section. Also, I'll be checking your details on the comment section because this is so amazing. Matiang'i speaks and they defend him, they protect him because they say that Matiang'i is the one now who we can put on the Jubilee seat. And as we know that we have been having the coalition between the Azimio, and we have been having the union between the Azimio, the ODM and the Jubilee, because Azimio is a combination of the two parties and other parties. And if we see that, and now we can see now, they have decided to say that now Jubilee stands on its own independent. What do you feel? Do you feel Jubilee will take over from Kenya Kwanza? Do you feel Jubilee even stand up? Will they be able to beat Kenya Kwanza? Will they be able to stand up for themselves and bring a change into Kenya? Because they have now decided to stand up like Jubilee, not like a collided party. So meaning that Azimio is being sped up on, and I don't know if I can say that Azimio is being spreading up, but I don't know. But I want you to tell me, do you think Azimio is breaking up, or Azimio has already broken up? Because when you see like such a like symbols, if Jubilee decided to run on its own, it's meaning that ODM will also run for its own, or will collide with other parties? Or do you think that if ODM will collide with Kenya Kwanza, and now make Ruto as their candidate, because there also such a right rumors that the ODM is planning to ally up with Kenya Kwanza and make Ruto to be their candidate. So there are such a tricky analysis that being raising up, but I would like just tell me, put it your will. What do you feel? And do you feel Matiang'i deserves this? Because this is going to be going on so much behind the scenes, because before you see anything that coming up from media platform or coming out, it means there is being a lot going on behind it, and now its expression is coming out later. So when we see such a thing, we can't run to a state that we have the permanent solution, or this is the permanent regime that is taking over, that is going on, that is being now appreciated to have been approved. But we can see the thoughts of the Jubilee leadership, because the Jubilee leadership are being expressed now through here. That's the point. So I would like to share with your opinions. What do you think about that? Do you think will it make a difference? Do you think that the Jubilee administration, the Jubilee party, will come to attest to that, or will decide also to unite, or will start to remain as Mio? So this is a question that they have no answer right to this point. Or if you have the answers, you can share to them, because this is something that's tricky. We've seen Gachagua uniting the other side, and we've seen this one now saying that now Jubilee will be vying for the seat. So if Jubilee will be vying for the seat, will it support Azimio, or will they agree that now, because the Jubilee is the one that vying Jubilee will combine with it, will still stand as Azimio, but the candidate from Jubilee will the one be standing up? Okay, but we're still looking at that conversation. Let us look at what happened 6 years ago. Then we'll come to conclude.
Secretary Fred Matiang'i. And we had also a rejoinder, and you mentioned it about Raila Odinga coming and saying, stop, please let me just continue. Stop being this reckless, Raila tells Matiang'i. And it continues, of course, we know what really transpired, of course, from the Right Honorable Raila Odinga as far as this is concerned. And CJ Maraga dismissed judges' capture claims. He went full steam ahead to say, of course, from his knowledge, there were no people who were siding on one side. He says judiciary is not controlled by litigants, urges aggrieved parties to appeal decisions. Just briefly, let's comment on these particular statements that were tripping off, of course, the tongue of Matiang'i, as well as also we're preparing our headline thoughts. Very briefly, let's start with you, Mutai Kagwe, very briefly.
Well, first and foremost, I think it is important for us to read Matiang'i's statement in full, because before he said that, just before he said that majority in the judiciary are upright, standing citizens of this country. That's what he started with. And it was in Bunge. He started by saying that most of or majority of the people in the judiciary are people who are conducting themselves in a manner that makes Kenya proud. And in fact, he said the judiciary makes Kenya proud. However, there is a clique, that's what he said. And, you know, anybody, unless you want to become the proverbial ostrich and bury your head to the ground and assume that everything is okay and say that we cannot touch, you know, one arm of government called the judiciary cannot be criticized and it cannot be touched. Unless we want to say that you can criticize the legislature, you can criticize the judiciary, but you cannot touch the judiciary. You can criticize the other two, but not the judiciary. I think that is wrong. If there are problems in the judiciary, there are problems in the judiciary. And I think it's accepted. If you look at today's Star, page 22 and page 23, that's what that's what the articles are talking about. And I think the Chief Justice himself has said, yes, there is rot to clean up in the judiciary. So to me, Matiang'i simply said the truth as it exists. He explained why he thought about what he thought, why he thought what he thought about. And I think that it would be dishonest for us,
thank you,
or anybody else to start and saying that he was wrong, he didn't do the right thing. It is in his, he has a right to criticize the judiciary.
Thank you. Let's hear from Martina Mola, very briefly.
I think it is really unfortunate that my friend Mutahi Kagwe can speak like that. The statement by Dr. Matiang'i reeks of impunity. It's exactly the kind of statement President Uhuru made after the Supreme Court made that decision. The Wakora network. They are all unfortunate. You cannot call serious judges who have reasoned, and those decisions are well reasoned. 5 judges of the High Court differently, and 3 judges of the Court of Appeal, that they are an evil clique because they do not agree with what you say.
He did not mention.
No, but I'm now telling you, 5 judges have made a decision on Miguna on the High Court, 3 in the Court of Appeal already, and then he doesn't stop there. He says then there's a clique of NASA activists and lawyers. Now that includes Senator Mutula Kilonzo here and myself here, because now. But I'm telling you, read that statement.
He didn't talk about NASA. He didn't say NASA.
Mutahi, you will read it once we are done. You know, he did not just attack the judges; he also attacked the lawyers. And almost as if saying that we collude with the courts. It is so unfortunate. First, the idea of choosing to go to parliament and not to the court is the first thing that should be interrogated. Is because Dr. Matiang'i and the people with whom he went believe that because of the Jubilee majority in the National Assembly, and particularly that committee, they made it subservient. Secondly, and lastly, he misrepresents facts. He says these orders were giving ex parte. All these orders were giving inter partes.
Thank you. Let's hear from Boni Kalole. Very briefly, as we're winding up, very briefly.
Matiang'i used the word capture. If we must ever use the word capture, then it should be on the premise that the executive has captured parliament. That a parliamentary committee allowed Matiang'i to make those kind of remarks without being challenged is a confirmation of capture.
Thank you. Let's see a bit of that.
Okay.
Musila, very briefly.
We have appeared before judges, and it's unfortunate because these judges have applied themselves. So if Matiang'i was to be given an opportunity, he would have gone with the Court of Appeal ruling, the High Court ruling of Kimaru J, and I was very happy that that judge was not Kamba or Luo, because he would have either been related to me, Orengo, or Tiende Amolo. And then Chacha Mwita on the question of citizenship. Now, a contemner of court, a person who is unclean and dirty, who you come to equity must come with clean hands, then goes and pontificates, sits there and becomes holy. Doctors of this country were jailed for refusing to go to work. And Halwale is here, seated right here. Lecturers now, the lecturers of the university are saying they will not obey a court order. Why? Because this gentleman called Dr. Matiang'i, and I heard him say somewhere that I'm being served with so many court orders that I don't know which one to attend. And then complains about the fact that the Attorney General's office has hired incompetent counsel. You have lost a case. They even hired 2 senior counsel. One is called Fred Ngatia, the other one is Kyoko Kilukumi, and they lost.
Thank you.
Because we are good lawyers.
Thank you.
I think we are missing the point. We are discussing the specific court orders can be interrogated. There are genuine arguments which have already been put on appeal by Matiang'i, which include he was not served, that there were contradictory orders. There was, like, for example, the one that says Miguna should be brought to the country. One says he should be brought in to the court in the afternoon, but there's another court order that says as he arrives to the airport, if his original Kenyan passport is not there, he can use the Canadian passport to come in. Which of the two was it going to be implemented by the minister? So those things will be canvassed in court, and rightfully, the court will make a determination whether that contempt was right or not. But we cannot, and I just want to say this, are we saying as a country that rule of law, that democracy only works when you are criticizing the legislature and the executive? You can never criticize a judge. You can never criticize a decision of the court. I mean, come on. We know that the truth is that as long as there are bad eggs in the judiciary, there are also those in executive and legislature. We cannot lie. And I just want to emphasize this fact. Briefly. In university when I was teaching, every day our work is about criticizing the decision of judges and decisions of judges themselves. So when that decision and that criticism is brought to the fore, we should be asking ourselves, and this Chief Justice must be thinking about, the consumers of your actions as judges are complaining.
Thank you.
You must look also at yourself and say, is there anything wrong you are doing?
Thank you. I think that will be another discussion. Of course, this is a developing story. Thank you very much, guys, for coming through. Really appreciate. And of course, we know all this where it really emanated, and we prepared this particular clip for you just to show you where it really emanated. If my director Diana may just play it.
There's no standoff. They have just been detaining me in Comunicado illegally with my lawyers.
Mmoja ambaye hakuwa na kichwa timamu alikuja katika airport akitaka kuingia Kenya, na kama serikali tukamchukua tukamrudisha kule alitoka.
At that time, the option available for government was to charge him in a court of law or to deport him. And honorable members, let me say this: we don't go to the press about this every day, but every week I assign about 50 to 60 deportation orders. Many of them, 99% of them, are for foreigners who are in the country illegally. I sign all those deportations all the time. Even now, there are some on my desk.
But for me to stay with undocumented person at the airport and looking at the temperatures, it was only ideal for me to use the options that were left to me.
We can hear what happened 6 years ago, and also now coming up and putting it up as we collect the story from Matiang'i. Also, let us check out a little bit for what has happened today about the DCIs. The DCIs and the controversy still going on, and the murder of the people is going on. Please let us be careful, as even with Steve, our partners. Make sure that we have peace, because if we don't have peace and then your partner decides to slaughter you and butcher you, it's not good. So let us be careful. Let us stay awake. So let us check this out as we are almost signing up.
Propaganda kuhusu kifo cha mwanaharakati Richard Otieno aliyeuawa kikatili huko Molo kukoma. Wakizungumzia swala hilo wiki moja tangu tukio hilo kutokea, wamewataka Wakenya kupuuza habari zisizo ukweli na kuwa na subra ili uchunguzi uweze kufanywa kwa haraka na habari kamili itolewe.
Wiki moja tangu kuuawa kwa mazingira ya kutisha kwa Richard Otieno aliyekwenda kwa lakabu Rais wa Molo, asasi za kiusalama kutoka eneo la Bonde la Ufa zimeibuka kwa meno ya juu. Tangu alipouawa akielekea nyumbani kwake, idara hizo zimelalamikia taarifa zinazodaiwa kuwa za uongo zinazopeperushwa mitandaoni na kuwataka wakazi wa eneo hilo kusubiri ripoti kamili ya uchunguzi.
You know, social media is out there, and it's a very important tool which can work well for the community, and it can also work against the community. And it is important that we desist from peddling information that is not credible. It is important that they rely on official sources on the ongoing investigations and avoid at all costs peddling lies or giving information which may not be true.
Kwa mujibu wao, mchakato wa uchunguzi ulikuwa ukiendelea sawa, kwani familia na jamii zilikuwa zikishirikiana kuhakikisha waliotekeleza uhaini huo wanalipia dhambi zao.
It is important at this juncture to also encourage the members of the public who might be having any information that can go a long way in supporting the ongoing investigations to come forward and volunteer the same to the homicide team.
Kamanda huyo wa polisi aliwataka Wakenya pia kuweka mazingira mazuri ya maafisa wa polisi kufanya uchunguzi, akieleza kuwa licha ya ripoti ya uchunguzi kutokuwa tayari, walikuwa na imani kuwa waliotekeleza unyama huo wangepatikana na haki kupatikana kwa rais wa Molo. Yugen Nambeka, NTV.
So that's also what's happening on for the breaking deals of yesterday. So we need to be careful, and also we need to set our mind clearly so that when we are trading careful. We are not trading as you want to another adversity whereby we will make lose of other people's life, because this was thing that saying it's rumor. So Kenya, where are we heading to? Where are we going? Let us be careful. Let us be sober. Let us be very vigilant. So please, what I urge you, send your feedback on the comment section, and I will also be appreciating. Thank you for those who are saying that in Kumoto, because things are not the way it seems to be. And I've like any other, I'll reach towards the end. Let us meet tomorrow. The same place, the same time.
Tunaingia vijijini, mijini na hata jijini kukuletea taarifa mchana kutwa. Usiku tunaketi kitako, tunadadavua tukichanganua taarifa na makala muhimu yanayokuhusu wewe na familia yako. Ungana na Bernard Ngozi kwenye Open Forum Political Show kuanzia saa 4 usiku hadi dakika zake kila siku ya wiki kwenye
kutoka vijijini, mijini hadi jijini. Hii ni Sound Kanti Talk Live.